The year is 326 BCE. The hot Indian sun beats down on the plains surrounding the Hydaspes River, casting long shadows over the dry, cracked earth. The Hydaspes River, a roaring torrent swollen by the monsoon rains, cuts through the landscape like a serpent, its waters churning with relentless energy. Here on these very plains, two powerful forces are about to collide in a confrontation that will echo through the annals of history. On one side stands Alexander the Great, the young Macedonian king who has already carved a path of conquest through Persia. His ambition knows no bounds, and now he sets his sights on the unknown depths of India, eager to expand his empire further. On the other side awaits King Porus, a formidable ruler known for his valor and strategic acumen. His army, a formidable force in its own right, boasts war elephants, chariots, and soldiers who are fiercely loyal and determined to defend their homeland at any cost. These warriors, armed with traditional weapons and an unyielding spirit, stand ready to face the invaders. Their resolve is unshakable, their courage unmatched. The stage is set for one of the most epic battles in history, the Battle of the Hydaspes. The air is thick with tension as both armies prepare for the inevitable clash. Alexander, renowned for his strategic brilliance and innovative tactics, faces a new and daunting challenge in the form of war elephants. These massive creatures, unfamiliar to his Macedonian troops, present a formidable obstacle. The sheer size and power of the elephants are intimidating, their presence on the battlefield a testament to the might of King Porus's forces. The Macedonian soldiers, though seasoned and battle-hardened, have never encountered such beasts before, yet Alexander is undeterred. His determination and adaptability have seen him through countless battles, and this will be no different. With a steely resolve, he leads his troops ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. Through sheer willpower, strategic genius, and the unwavering loyalty of his men, Alexander will adapt, overcome, and claim victory for himself and his army. The Battle of the Hydaspes will be remembered not just for its scale, but for the indomitable spirit of those who fought. The Battle of the Hydaspes was a hard-fought victory for Alexander. It was a clash that tested the mettle of both armies, with each side displaying remarkable valor and strategic prowess. The battlefield was a chaotic symphony of clashing swords, roaring war cries, and the relentless push of determined warriors. King Porus, though defeated, earned the respect of his adversary through his courage and tenacity. His towering presence and unyielding spirit left a lasting impression on Alexander, who admired the Indian king's resilience and leadership. Porus stood tall even in defeat, embodying the spirit of a true warrior. Alexander, ever the pragmatist, allowed Porus to retain his kingdom, binding him as a loyal ally. This act of clemency was not just a gesture of goodwill, but a strategic move to secure his newly conquered territories. By forging an alliance with Porus, Alexander ensured stability and cooperation in the region. This victory opened the gateway to further expansion into India, a prize ripe for the taking. The vast and diverse lands of India promised new opportunities and challenges, enticing Alexander with the allure of uncharted territories and untold riches. His ambitions soared as he envisioned the extension of his empire to the very edge of the known world. Yet a new enemy emerges, discontent within Alexander's own ranks. The soldiers who had followed him through countless battles and across vast distances began to show signs of weariness and frustration. The initial excitement of conquest had given way to the harsh realities of endless campaigning. Years of campaigning, thousands of miles from home, have taken their toll. The relentless march through foreign lands, the constant threat of battle, and the longing for familiar faces and places weighed heavily on the men. Their spirits were dampened by the grueling journey and the uncertainty of what lay ahead. The Macedonian and Greek soldiers, weary and homesick, begin to voice their reluctance to venture further into this strange and distant land. The thought of facing unknown dangers in an unfamiliar territory filled them with dread. They yearned for the comfort and safety of their homeland, questioning the endless pursuit of glory. The whispers of mutiny filled the air, forcing Alexander to confront the limits of his army's endurance and his own ambitions. The murmurs of discontent grew louder, challenging his authority and vision. Alexander, the great conqueror, now faced a battle of a different kind, one that required not just military might, but wisdom. and empathy to navigate the fragile morale of his weary troops. Bowing to the exhaustion of his troops and the daunting prospects of campaigning deeper into India, Alexander makes the difficult decision to turn back. Their eastward march is halted, replaced by the long and arduous journey westward, back towards the heart of his vast empire. The return journey is far from easy. The scorching deserts of the Gedrosian Desert, modern-day Baluchistan, test the limits of human endurance. Supplies dwindle, thirst becomes a constant torment, and the relentless heat claims the lives of many soldiers, their bones left to bleach under the unforgiving sun. After enduring unimaginable hardships, Alexander and his battered but unbroken army finally reached the opulent city of Babylon in 323 BCE. It is meant to be a time of respite, of planning for future campaigns and consolidating his vast empire. Fate, however, has other plans. In the palace of Nebuchadnezzar II, amidst the splendor and grandeur of his conquered territories, Alexander the Great falls ill. The fever consumes him, his strong body racked with pain. Section 5. A Kingdom Divided, the Legacy of Alexander. The news of Alexander's death at the age of 32 sends shockwaves throughout his vast empire. His sudden demise leaves his subjects and soldiers in a state of disbelief and mourning. The man who had seemed invincible, who had led them through countless victories, was no more. The man who had conquered the known world, who had led his armies with unwavering determination and strategic brilliance, was gone. His vision of a world united under his rule, a blend of cultures and peoples, now seemed like a distant dream. Alexander's charisma and leadership had been the glue that held his diverse empire together. In the power vacuum left by his death, his generals, the Diadochi, begin to vie for control. These were men who had fought alongside Alexander, who had shared in his triumphs and his hardships. Yet, without his unifying presence, their ambitions and rivalries come to the fore. What was once a united empire forged in the fires of conquest, fragments into competing kingdoms. Antigonus, Ptolemy, Seleucus. These names, once united under Alexander's banner, now represent rival factions battling for supremacy. Each general seeks to carve out his own domain, to claim a piece of the empire for himself. The battles that follow are fierce and relentless. The once cohesive force that had swept across continents now turns on itself. Soldiers who had fought side by side now find themselves on opposing sides, driven by the ambitions of their leaders. The dream of a single, unified empire stretching from Greece to India dies with Alexander. The legacy of Alexander is a complex one. While his conquests spread Greek culture and ideas far and wide, the fragmentation of his empire leads to centuries of conflict and division. The ruins of ancient cities and the fading maps of his once vast empire stand as a testament to both his extraordinary achievements and the turbulent aftermath of his death. Section 6. The Hellenistic World. Seeds of Cultural Exchange. Though Alexander's empire is short-lived, its impact on the course of history is profound and enduring. The conquests of Alexander serve as a catalyst for cultural exchange on an unprecedented scale. Greek culture, language, and ideas spread eastward, carried by the flow of merchants, scholars, and artists into the newly conquered lands. This fusion of Greek and Eastern cultures gives rise to the Hellenistic world, a vibrant era of intellectual and artistic flourishing that would leave an indelible mark on history. Section 7. Alexander's military genius, innovations and adaptations. Alexander's military successes can be attributed to a combination of factors. He was a brilliant tactician and strategist, always willing to adapt to new enemies and challenging terrain. At the Battle of Granicus River, he faced the Persian army's cavalry charge head-on, leading his companion cavalry in a daring maneuver that shattered the enemy lines. At the Battle of Gaugamela, outnumbered but not outmaneuvered, he used feigned retreats and flanking maneuvers to decimate Darius III's forces, securing control of the Persian Empire. Section 8. The Enduring Allure. Alexander's place in history. Across the centuries, Alexander's life and conquests have captivated the imaginations of historians, writers and artists alike, from Plutarch's biographical accounts to epic poems and grand operas. His story has been told and retold, each generation finding new meaning in his triumphs and tragedies. He is a figure of fascination, a young king who conquered an empire larger than any before him, only to be felled at the height of his power. Section 9. A life cut short. What if Alexander lived longer? The untimely death of Alexander the Great at such a young age begs the question, what if he had lived longer? Would his empire have held together, ushering in an era of unprecedented peace and prosperity? Would he have continued his eastward expansion, pushing further into Asia and perhaps even reaching China? Section 10. Conclusion. From Pella to Babylon, a legacy forged. From the time he left Pella, the capital of Macedon, to his untimely death in distant Babylon, Alexander's journey was one of relentless ambition, strategic brilliance, and unwavering determination. He carved a path of conquest across 3 continents, leaving behind an empire that stretched from the shores of Greece to the banks of the Indus River. Though his reign was brief, his impact on the course of history was profound, shaping the political, cultural, and intellectual landscape of the world for centuries to come.